gonna be doing a get ready with me and a life update, and yeah, I just did my exam for a course I'm in for school, and I'm so happy that I got it out of the way. I have new nails. I made them really short. And yeah, so before we start this video, make sure you check out my description box. There's my email for custom videos. If you want a custom video, my email is asmrmco@gmail.com. And feel free to email me. And follow me on Instagram. My Instagram is also just asmrmco. So, we're doing don't you love the sound of that? We're doing my skincare first. I put cream on. This is what my face has been like. It's not really that bad on camera, but it gets all like red and dry. And so I like need to moisturize multiple times a day. And yeah, it's really red. But doing my makeup helps me so that I'm not like touching my face or like messing with it, you know. So I have some vitamin E oil, which don't come at me, okay? Because I didn't make a video a long time ago and I used shea butter, and someone was like, no, you shouldn't use that because it'll like clog your pores and give you pimples. I don't care if I get pimples because my skin is so dry. I just need like really like thick moisturizers, and like I really don't care if I get pimples because I'd rather pimples than having dry skin. But yeah, okay, so I'll give you guys a little life update. In my last video, go watch it if you haven't, but I talked about my job interview, and so I had my job interview, and it went really bad. No, I'm joking. It was good. I'll tell you guys what happened before I tell you if I got the job or not. So I go in, because it's a restaurant, right? So I like walked in. My interview was at 3, so I went in at 3. Well, I went in at like 2:55, and I got to the neighborhood like super early, like 2 hours early, because I was so scared of being late. So I was like, I need to be on time for this. And so I got there early. I was just like sitting on a bench outside. I got some coffee, and then I was like going over every single interview question. Like I was ready. I was ready for any question. If they asked me like what my weakness was, I knew what to say. Let me tell you guys, I was like, if they said, so what's your like biggest weakness? Because that's an annoying question. Because like you can't say like, oh, like I get really anxious and then I like can't get through something, because then they'll be like, well then why would we hire you? So, but then you can't say something like stupid and cheesy, like, oh, like I care too much. I don't know. I mean, you can. I'm just like, I wouldn't feel genuine saying that. So you have to pick something that's honest, but you have to like be like kind of creative with it. So I was racking my brain, like, what am I gonna say? And I was ready. I was gonna say that sometimes I take things like too personally, because that's true. And so like if someone is really rude to me, I can struggle to differentiate between they're being rude to me because of something I did, or they're being rude to me just because they're upset and it's not my problem, you know? And I don't need to take that on. And here's a tip. If you have like a job interview and it's like gonna be more in depth, when they ask you your biggest weakness, be honest. Don't give something like really bad that like they'll be like, well then we can't hire you. But don't give something like cheesy, because I can guarantee they've heard it all. Give something that's honest like that, but then explain what you're doing to fix it. So I was gonna be like, that's my problem, and that's also why I want this job, is because I know I'm gonna be dealing with things and I know that it's gonna I was like, yeah. She's like, well, we only need hostesses on weekends. And I was like, oh. And so what I thought that meant was like, they only need me on weekends because they've got enough hosts for the weekdays. But what it means is that they don't have a hostess on the weekdays because they're not as busy. So I was like, oh. And then she was like, so we could also train you as a server. And I'm like, okay, fun. I don't care. We'll do that. Where am I even going with this? So, okay, no, I'm all over the place. So the interview went well. It was really short, which I was happy about, but I was also kind of bummed because I was like so ready to answer all the hard questions. Don't mind this. I don't have concealer. Well, I do, but I don't have a concealer that I like, so I use this foundation. So yeah, the interview, it was literally 5 minutes, and then I got an email basically saying that they added me to their like online, so basically I got the job, but they added me to their like online portal with like the schedules and stuff, and so I'm gonna start training next week, and so yeah, that's really exciting. Okay, I'll tell you guys something that I've never really shared, but like, I was in online school. I switched from regular school to online in 10th grade, and so the past 2 years have been online asynchronous. So basically that means that there was no like structure. It was just like, here's all the assignments, you have a year to do them, like, good luck. And I struggled with that because I was always in a like in regular school, which had like, okay, this assignment is due on Friday and then this one is due on Monday, and there was so much structure, and so I took that for granted. And another thing that I took for granted was the socialization of being at school. Like, you don't realize how many of like the friends that you make, like how they're just, you make them because you like see them every day, you know? And so that was like a shock when I went online. I was like, wait, I literally feel like I don't have friends anymore because I'm not seeing people all the time. And I realized how much I missed being around people. Which made me like, it's like a reason why I wanted the job, because I want to be around people. Like, I love being around people, and that's something that I took for granted. And yeah, so what was I gonna say? Oh yeah, so I've been online, and so that's what I finished today. I've literally finished, like, I just like graduated high school, but it's like 9 a.m. on a random weekday, and I don't feel like yay. I just feel like, which kind of sucks, but I'm glad that that's out of the way. And so another reason why I wanted to get a job was because I was like, now that I'm not doing like school, like, what am I gonna do? Because if I don't have things that I need to do, if I don't have any structure or like any like places I need to go, I so quickly fall into like this, like, I don't know what to call it, like, not depression, but like, I just am like, I'm not myself. I'm so unhappy. My skin gets worse. And like, I realized I need to have something. And as much as I love like taking myself on little dates and like going places, it's like, that's not enough. Like, I need to be doing something. So yeah, guys, say woohoo, because I finally graduated high school, and that was a little bit hard for me because I felt so like behind, and I felt like such like an outcast, because when everyone was like graduating and like going to their little ceremonies, I'm literally in my room on a Wednesday, and like, that was like, oh, that's fun, but like, it also sucked. And I'm like a serial procrastinator. procrastinator too when it comes to like school assignments. So I pushed everything to the deadline, which was tomorrow. Tomorrow is when like the courses get like cut off, and then you'll have to redo it. So yeah, guys, I've never told you that. Isn't that crazy? But basically, where's my mascara? I don't have my mirror. Being an online school, there were definitely benefits of that. A freaking amazing thing about that was that I had so much time, and it was like fun, but then it wasn't. But something that I don't think I would have made this, like, I don't think this channel would have been a thing if I wasn't in online school. Because if I was in actual school, like, the people that I went to school with, I would definitely get made fun of. And, like, I cared too much about what people thought of me that I probably wouldn't even make this. But because I wasn't in online school, I was like, well, if they see it, like, they're not gonna, like, say anything to my face about it. So, might as well. Anyways. So yeah, graduated high school, got a job, okay? And I'm excited. Well, okay, I'm nervous. Like, I've had jobs before, and I'm glad that I've had jobs, like, dealing with food and, like, in the service industry. And I know that there will be things that'll be easier, because, like, working in a retirement home was, like, fun and, like, amazing, and I love old people. Like, I love them. They're so, like, my coworkers didn't like love old people. They were just like there, which is fine. Like, I get it. But like, I would stay late at work, like, unpaid, just to like talk to people, and I would do things that like weren't in my job description, because like one time there was a lady who was like, because retirement homes, most of them are in there because they have dementia, so you run into lots of intense things. There was one time a lady was like, ma'am, they're out to get me, like, they're gonna steal all my money, and they're after me. And I'm like, huh, what do you mean? And the thing with, like, when someone with dementia is having, oh my god, I'm doing this without looking, when someone with dementia is having like a little moment like that, it's like very real to them, and there's nothing that you can really say or do to get them out of it. So what I learned was, like, you just have to like kind of go along with it, but like find ways to comfort them. And so that was my first time like dealing with something like that, like a delusion where they like are really anxious, and she's like, can you come up to my room and like check it? And I was like, part of me was like, that's not in my job description, and it's 8 p.m, it's time to clock out. But then I was also like, whatever, she's like really nervous, and like if me going to her room and like checking it for her would make her feel better, then I'll do that. So we go up, and she's like, look, like, my phones don't work. And I'm like, what do you mean your phones don't work? And I picked up the phone and it actually didn't work. She's like, see, they're cutting the lines, like, they're gonna come get me. Anyways, why am I even telling this story? Basically, I had to deal with like crazy things, but I was happy to do it because I love like the elderly so much. And so this place is like kind of in like a retirement like community. Like, people who go there are usually retired, and so what'll be easier is the fact that because they're like not in retirement homes, most of them won't have dementia, so they'll still be there, so I won't have to deal with that. But what'll be harder is the fact that there's like more tasks. Like, there's a whole menu with like drinks and appetizers and like, that's a good thing, right? That there is a whole menu. But at the retirement homes, it was literally like 2 meal options. So you'd go out and you'd be like, do you want the chicken or fish? And they'd say chicken, you go get them the chicken. But in like an actual restaurant, it's a lot more than that. Like, you need to take their order, remember it, punch it in, and then go run it, and then So it would mean leaving at 6:30, but because I have a thing with like I need to be early for everything, I would leave at 6, which means I'd wake up at 5, excuse me. So we'll see how that goes. But I will totally keep you guys posted when I start training. But yeah, I'm happy that I got school out of the way because it was like this weight, like it was like in the back of my mind. So it's like a big relief that it's done. And I'm excited to start working. But like the main reason that I wanted a job was basically to socialize because of the lack of socialization that I've had being in online school. And yeah, super fun, super exciting. I hope that you guys enjoyed this video. It was a little bit all over the place, but I love you guys so much, and let me know if you guys have video ideas because literally the only thing I do is ramble. But if you guys like that, then I'll keep doing that. But if you're like, we want a different video, like what if I just made a triggers video? Like what? Like what if I like, how, like if I just did this? That's very unlike me, but I can do it if you want. But yeah, I'm super happy. I'm super excited. Wait, the other thing that I wanted to say was when I worked at retirement homes, I was like, I developed a skill of just like knowing how to like deal with like the elderly, but also like when they were grumpy. Like I'd have residents that were